Welcome to the Bible Study Girl podcast. I'm Sarita. That falsetto hello you heard was from the executive producer of this podcast, Bible Study Brother.
It is I, Bible Study Brother, but I am also known as Icarus Gray over at Gray Area Anime. But this right here is the most wonderful podcast of your day. Go listen to the soundtrack of years to come. My album, Gray Matter by Icarus Gray, out way past today, but it's like been before, and all these things that I say, I be rapping, I don't play. Yeah.
Is that an example of the bars?
No, not at all.
I was gonna say, hey guy, you always say I am not a lyrical genius, but if that's what we're working with, you gotta. I'm not too far from being a lyrical genius. Oh, so Bible Study Brother and I have been, we've really been recapping the book Boundaries, but today we're taking a little break because guess what, y'all? I got to take a little break and I got to go on an epic adventure with my mom, my grandmother, and my aunt. And my brother hasn't really heard too much about it. I also attempted to take some video. It is hilarious if you ask me personally. So I still haven't been very clear about what I'm talking about. So my grandmother is an adventurer. She explores the world with, is it with abandon or without abandon?
Anyway, reckless abandon is what you're looking for.
Yeah, she is carefree, honey. I remember when we would go to St. Louis in the summer, we drove the city and grandma would just take us different places. And I don't know, we just had a good time exploring. And I think that's a spirit that's extended, gone from her to mom. I remember mom taking us. You okay, bud?
Sorry. Yeah, just smacked my hand against the mic. Sorry, y'all.
I remember mama just randomly one weekend taking us to Blanchard Springs Caverns just because she wanted us to explore. Bible Study Brother didn't enjoy that trip.
Nah, bro. Look, listen, she done brought it up. I'm going to tangentially talk about this, which is, dog, I've never felt more claustrophobic in my life because we were walking through a cave to where it's like the person in front of you has a light and they're like showing us the stalactites.
It wasn't like that, but go ahead.
Yes, it was.
The part you remember is they turn all the lights off down there to show you how dark it would be without.
And then we just sitting there.
You never got
No, I have not, because it creeped me out because we sat there in dark silence for way longer than my mental. Like, you know how at this point my brain was like a dog's. I did not have a concept of time in that way, in that moment. So I'm like,
you were a kid. You were little.
Like, dog, we have been here like for hours, just like no one's gonna come get us. Like, I'm literally dying and passing over into the next life. This has to be what this feels like. Claustrophobia intense. I was like, I don't want no bats flying on me, touching on me, nothing. I don't know what's going on in here. He telling me we sitting in poop. Like, I don't know what we got going on. It's crazy.
Right.
Crazy.
So, I mean, that's just one example of mama saying, hey guys, let's go check this out. Her and grandma, actually, my grandmother, mother, myself, Bible Study Brother, every year, every summer, we would go on vacation somewhere. And most often those were road trips. And I liked when we took road trips and most of the time we did take road trips that were like, if we saw something, an interesting sign, grandma would be like, let's go see what that's about. And we would do it, right? And so that sense of adventure and wanting to explore has been passed down from my grandmother to my mother to me. And I love to explore. I love to... You too?
Me too.
I love to explore. I love to try new things. That is why I wanted to travel the world. That is why when I was in French class one day in high school, my teacher was talking about Paris and all. And I was like, I want to go. And I really meant that thing. Did I think I was going to get to go? No. But I was like, oh, that's cool. And I honestly don't know what made her say, well, let me put together a trip But you know what? I thank God that she did. And my grandma and my great grandma and my mom were very accommodating because the girl wanted to go, she was going. And so they put the money together so that I could go scratch that itch of adventure and travel. And so I was able to go to Paris and France. I think that was my senior, yeah, that was my senior year of high school. Uh, so we went to Paris and we went to France and we also went to Italy. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And that really like my grandma, it came from
Yo,
my grandma, right?
funny. One more tangent, y'all. That is my that is if I had not gone with you to the airport to see you away, I would have never gotten the opportunity to like experience airports
Walking up to the gate.
before 9/11.
Right.
Cause like we were all the way back there. I mean, saw the plane. Well, we didn't get to see you take off. I think we were like driving. I remember crying. I was crying hard because I was like,
It's like I was gone forever. It was just
dog.
10
I
days,
remember,
bro.
bro. But for me, that was like the longest I had ever been away from my sister. So like,
Which
what are
is
we
true,
doing?
because I was going, you took me to the gate, and there's a picture. I need to find it, but there's a picture of you hugging me in the airport
Yeah,
before I got on the plane.
yeah. I was
And
broke. I was
you look
broke,
distressed.
and I was like distraught. And also, that's also my like probably second time since we had flown that one time,
Yeah.
like being in an airport. So all I know is my child brain is like, I did not like being on an airplane. She not gonna like being on an airplane. It's gonna be dangerous. I don't know what's gonna happen there. So yeah.
Yeah. So the sense of adventure is strong in our family. It has persisted through the generations. And my grandma has no slowdown in her. Like, I have to remind myself that she is the age she is because she's still an adventurer. She takes off on tangents and adventures. And
Mm-hmm.
so, um, my great great grandmother is from a tiny town in Alabama. My grandma and my mom were actually on their way to visit my cousin who lived in Alabama at the time, and they passed through the town, and they were like, "Wow!" My grandma was like, "Wow, my grandma used to talk about this town all the time. This is where she's from, right?" Who knew that my cousin was going to choose to go to college in Alabama to provide an opportunity for my mom and my grandma to be driving through the town, because it wasn't a town that she sought out. So maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, she was just discussing, she was asking me a question. I think I've said this. I don't know if I said it on the podcast or like in one of my reels or whatever, but I put my grandma on Google, okay? Because she's, like I said, she's an adventurer, she's an explorer, she loves to ask questions. So she'll ask me a question I definitely don't know the answer to. And so I was like, Grandma, you can Google it. I really don't know. But she couldn't figure out Google Maps. And so she was asking me how far the town that my great great grandmother was from her home. So I was down there visiting her. So I Googled it and I was like, oh, it's only like 3.5 hours away from here. That's not far at all.
Which
And
makes
she was saying,
sense.
right. She was like, "Ooh, I really want to go visit." Well, alarm bells started to sound off in my head because, like I said to y'all, my grandma's an adventurer. She would go anywhere and do anything at any time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, that curiosity, and then she's like, "Oh, my grandma's
Mm-hmm.
a character." I'm like, "Oh." So when we were thinking about what we wanted, mom was like, grandma's hard to shop for her birthday. Like, what should I get her? What should we do? I was like, you know what? She talked about wanting to go to the town that my great grandmother is from. I was like, I think she would love that as a birthday gift if we took time out to go, let her explore the town, talk to people. My grandma loves to talk to people, all that stuff. I was like, I think that'll be a great gift. One thing about me, you must know about me, I feel like gifts should be personal to the person. So it's not necessarily about spending the most money, but like what experience is going to be the most meaningful, impactful.
Prime example. For my 24th birthday, I had told my sister a year or so prior or something like that. I don't know how long it was ago that I told her at that point, but I said I wanted a surprise party. And so then we have the most immaculate surprise party. Not only do we have the surprise party, she knows how to build up my confidence there. Had like my mixtape, my solo mixtape, first solo mixtape that I had dropped since 2006 or something like that, or 2005, and had that playing. So like it was so many things that were like catered to like this in who I was, and it was amazing.
I'm gonna say this too. That's another reason I like to plan events for people because I want the event to be personal to you, not what Harry did, not what Sheila did, but what looks like you, what sounds like you, what feels like you. This event is about you, whether that be a wedding or a bridal shower, or it's not about fitting into the mold, but really what fits you best. So I use that same mindset when I'm looking for gifts for people. And so for grandma's birthday, I was like, yo, I think this will be a good idea. And so I told grandma on her birthday, now listen, lady, I'm not giving you money, but me and mama are going to take you on a trip. We're going to go explore. So, you know, you can look up records, do all that stuff. Well, my thought was because it's just 3 hours away, we could just spend one night, you know, we could drive in the morning, spend the day there, and then do some exploring the next day and then bring it on back. And they're like, girl, we need at least 2 nights there. I'm like,
You
cool, cool,
forget who your
cool.
grandma
So it's a,
was.
right. And I'm fine with that. I'm like, cool, cool, cool. It's a very small town in Alabama, a very small town. And I like to say that I'm not bougie, but I do have some very basic standards.
You like to say what now?
I like to say I'm not bougie.
Oh, you like to lie and say what now?
I like to say I'm not bougie, but I
Oh,
have
okay.
some very basic standards. Me not being from this small town, not having anybody to reach out to say, hey, is this hotel, like, is it close enough? And does it look safe? So I did some research, found us a place to stay. I'm like, y'all, this it right here. This the place. Like, this is where I want to stay. Grandma, I know this trip is about you. It's your birthday present, but I'm treating myself as well because I ain't been nowhere.
Okay with you.
So we staying here, and grandma, like when we got there, I said something about it being affordable because I think it would be fun for us all to go there as a family. She was like, "It's affordable." I was like, "Girl, you know I'm on a spend and freeze. Yeah, it's affordable."
But that's the other thing that's so hard for like travel and what you think about travel. Like we just did this with the Boundaries podcast, and I think that's learning the exposure or learning what you're sowing and what you're reaping. Like you can sow an amazing trip. There's just things you kind of have to do to sow that. Like if you reap or if you're sowing like an unorganized, planning late, like trying to save every dollar you or using every dollar you got when you know you can't save that way and not using time as your advantage, you're gonna reap a terrible trip. But in this instance, it's like, yeah, there are a lot more affordable things that you can do and explore.
Right. So I had to look at all of the affordable options. I had to look at, you know, it's going to be a road trip. So that's definitely going to make it more economical. But all those things went into, I want my grandma to have the best experience that she can possibly have at the financial state I'm at in my life right now. Okay. God bless. So me and my mom, you know, we halved it up because that's how we live our lives. We cool. So we went on an awesome epic adventure genealogy hunt. Like we want to walk the grounds where she walked. We want all of this. And it was an amazing trip. We had so much fun.
Get into this trip, girl. Tell them what you got.
We had so much fun. So driving into town. Okay, so I'm going to give y'all information, but like I said, I also made a video, and the video of our adventure is going to be up on the Bible Study Girl blog. I mean, I'm sorry, not the blog, Lord, the YouTube page. I'm tired and I'm getting older. Y'all know I opened the door to 40 and I walked in.
Girl,
Like I told
I'm about
I
to.
told my brother, I'm not down the hall. Like the door to 50 is way down there. And Lord, I pray that
Oh,
I live to see it.
Jesus.
But like I just opened the door and walked in. So I'm
Your
right
new
on the other
phrase is
side.
the most hilarious thing in life for me right now.
I opened the door and I walked in. So I'm in here. Okay. I'm with y'all. Oh, right. 'Cause I can see, I swear, it's like, wow, that's crazy. You 40. Anyway, crazy thing
I'm
to me.
trying not to do this. Yeah, she tearing me through there right now.
And so day one of our trip, I guess that's how I'll break it down. I'll tell you about day one. And I'm going to give you highlights. You can ask questions, brother, if you want to
Oh no, I got questions.
probe,
I'm just waiting.
probe a little bit deeper. So we set out that morning with the spirit of adventure. Mind y'all. Okay, so me and mom actually went down the Wednesday before we were going to go off on our adventure. And grandma cooked us a fabulous meal. We had some wings. They were delicious. What else did she cook? She might have made some cabbage, I think, cornbread,
Something like
something else.
that.
It was good. That's the whole moral of the story. So, but I'm telling y'all this because in my mind, when we got up Thursday morning, we were gonna hit the ground rolling. Everybody was in a chill mode. I woke up to my grandma making waffles. You didn't know this part. We had chicken and waffles for breakfast. Cause she liked my little waffle maker, so she went on ahead and got her own. Baby, when I say them waffles was everything. When I say moist, so you know that part. My bad.
My grandma in her advanced stages, I'm gonna call it, has turned more into me in so many funny ways.
With her gadgets.
Well, with her gadgets and her cravings, because you know I've been I've been eating chicken and waffles for forever. Like I would go to IHOP, the International House of Pancakes, and they had chicken and waffles, and that's what I would get almost every time that I went in there.
Well, grandma has crossed over. She loves her waffle maker. We ate like queens that morning, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we on chill mode after we eat, take your shower, get yourself together, load the car up, and we travel down the road. Now, my grandma and my aunt, they ate the whole way there, literally, like the entire way. Grandma was like, because we stopped at Sonic, because the Sonic down there, when I say it's top notch with the drink department, because I was full from breakfast, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was like, I got to get me a drink for the road because it's traveling. That is one tradition I missed that I had with Tamika. Anytime we went on a road trip, we would stop and get ices every time we went on a road trip. And I don't have my icy buddy with me anymore. So
Oh no, you got one. We on. Because I didn't know.
you didn't
All
know?
you had to do was tell me, bro. You know how I feel about ices. That used to be the splurge treat when we would go to the movies. Like if
Oh
you
yeah, it
remember when
would
Mama
be.
would get us
Yeah.
the large one because she knew both of us
Yeah.
would drink through that.
Mama loves us. She
Dog,
does love us. So yeah, that is
man, woo.
one tradition I have with my cousin that I miss. There are many, many other traditions that we had that are just gone. Gone.
No, that one's
Anyway,
coming back, yo.
it's coming back. I don't know when you and I will be on a road trip, but yeah. So that was part of our life tradition.
I mean, technically, I'm gonna like circumvent that in September, like because I am technically on a road trip of the sky, and therefore, when I get there, icy time.
Okay. I'm with it. I'm with it. So got myself a little delicious treat from Sonic. And while we were there, my grandma got her some food for the road so she could eat it while I was driving. Anyway. So by the time we get to town, I'm hungry. You know what I'm saying? Like we drove through the town. We probably stayed maybe 20 minutes outside of town. But it was just a great opportunity for us to just so we went straight to the hotel so we could get checked in, drop off the bags, and then go back and really do some exploration. But like I said, at this point, I'm hungry, right? And one thing about me and my family is we're going to eat, right? So I'm like, what should we eat? We're in small town Alabama. I don't know any of these places. So what do? I Google. I don't know if I Googled soul food near me. I don't think I did. I think I just Googled food near me, and the name of a soul food restaurant jumped out to me. And I'm like, So we went to look at the Facebook page. I'm like, Mom, does this look good to you? And she was like, yeah, we can try. We support Black-owned businesses. Let's try them out and see if we like them. Let me tell you how God works. So we go to this restaurant. Like I said, it's probably about 20 minutes away from the town that my great-great-grandmother's from.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a buffet, number one. That's a win. How many soul food buffets you been to?
One, two, probably like 5, maybe 10 if I'm like forgetting some places.
Straight up soul food?
Yeah, Browns. There was this buffet in
But Browns was not, I don't believe it was Black owned. I'm saying like Black
see,
owned
you're
soul
doing a
food
different thing.
buffets.
Within this southern place that was not too far from my college. And
Oh yeah, but you did go to college in the Deep South.
yeah, so
And you went to HBCU, so it's part of your landscape. Excuse us, everybody didn't go to HBCU.
hey, you know.
So anyway, I was like, yeah, let's try this small town Alabama soul food restaurant out. Let's give it a whirl, right?
Right.
The food. Let me tell y'all this. I like apple cobbler. I make a great blackberry cobbler. I have a blackberry story, brother. I need to tell you off air. The people would not appreciate it, but my bestie was like, "You make me sick." Anyway,
I can't wait.
so I like blackberry cobbler, I like apple cobbler, but I'm a big fan of peach cobbler. I don't know. I don't like cooked peaches. I like fresh peaches, and I really don't want my fresh peaches to be mushy. I think the reason I don't like peach cobbler is because the texture, it don't be right
It's
to
the
me.
smell.
So anyway,
smell and texture is just
the smell. Oh, the smell. So anyway, soul food buffet. They had chicken. They had baked chicken, fried chicken, like all the sides. They had a salad bar, and they had cobbler. Then they had banana pudding, and they had like 2 different kinds of cake, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of food, a lot of sides, so we fill our plates up, right? We eat, everything is good. And Mama was like, did you see they have apple cobbler up there? And I'm like, I thought that was peach cobbler. She was like, girl, no, that was apple. So I went and got some, right? I bring it back to the table. I'm like, see, I was on the fence. Like, I'm smelling it. I'm like wiggling the fruit. Cause peach cobbler, cooked peaches be like super slimy, but it wasn't like slimy. It was firm, but it wasn't. And I'm like, is it this color because of the juices? Grandma was like, I think your mama lied to you. That's a peach. She was like whispering it.
Yo, fam, it's crazy. Sounds like y'all, because y'all love the treachery in food. Y'all for years told me a sandwich was cheesier when it was my dreaded nemesis mayo, and I was like, y'all are
like, no, that's just extra cheese sauce.
And then, like, when I finally realized, I was like, bruh, y'all are trash. Y'all are so evil.
Okay, so I'm like, I don't know. So I bite it, and Mama bites it or whatever. And she was like, we both were like, yo, this is good. Like, and Grandma was like, but that ain't It's like that ain't apple. I was like, you know what? It's not apple, but it was, I was saying I like my peaches firm.
Yeah.
They were nice and like, they weren't like slimy. They were so good. Me and Mama tore that peach cobbler up. Do you hear me? We tore it up.
I hear you, bro.
So we like impressed by the food, right? And my grandma's here to talk to people. So she ends up talking to our waitress. I don't know how. It comes out in the conversation though that the people that own the restaurant are from the town that my great grandmother is from. Mm-hmm. And like pretty much everybody that works there is from that town. Mm-hmm. And so grandma gets into a conversation with her about our great grandmother and like family. And she's like, there's a lady in my church with that same last name. And she's 90 some years old. So she would definitely know, your people or she would be able to give you some information about your people. And because we're small town, like if you take Highway 49, I mean, that ain't the highway, but if you take Highway 49, go down till you see a stop sign, that kind of stuff. And,
and you'll
and
see an old rusted bike on the wall. Turn left there, but not too far left, just a little catty corner left.
Right. And her house is right across. That's our church right there. And her house is right across the street from the church. And her home, she was like, her home is really like a museum. She has pictures of her entire family all around the walls of the house. So you probably could talk to her and get a lot of information. Now, where does that happen in real life?
That only happens on Hallmark movies, bro.
Right. That happens in the movies. It doesn't happen in real life. And so after, our bellies are full, we didn't ate like some queens again. We decided to just go drive through the town and see if we can figure out. I mean, the lady she was a godsend. She told us like literally everywhere we needed to go. That was something I couldn't plan, with all of my planning. I couldn't plant her there. So that was definitely like a God thing for me. I'm like, we just got here and we already have a treasure trove of information. If you want to know more about what we discovered and what we found on our trip, there's a video up on YouTube, and that is a great teaser. But it was great for me. It was a great time for me to spend with my mom, my aunt, and my grandma. I think I've come to realize I always knew it before, but like I think I treasure these moments and these memories so much more. Because we get to spend time together, we get to talk, we get to laugh. And I get to, probably last year, having such a great time would have made me sad and fearful of what could come.
Bruh.
But I'm in a better place now where I can just enjoy the moment and like really, truly laugh and really, truly just enjoy it and try to get as much picture and video as I can and really treasure it and not come from a place of fear. Because last year, anytime we experienced an emotional high, my eye was looking out for the drop. Where's the drop? Are we about to have a loss? But I'm thankful that I've come to a place where I can just enjoy the memories and the moments that we get to make and share together. And it was an awesome trip. I thank God for a grandmother that has such a sense of adventure, a mom that has such a sense of adventure that they were able to pass down to me and us as a whole. And I think it's translated not just to my traveling life, but to the way I live my life in general. Yeah. This podcast is definitely an adventure for me. It is not something that was at top of mind for me. It's not something I set out to do, but I'm glad I took the opportunity and the journey and the step because it's opened so many doors for me and so many opportunities and blessed my life in so many ways.
Yeah, I love having this diary for future generations. I love the fact that we have those moments with Tamika, that we have those moments with Ari, that we had the moments with Grandma. Like that episode is still like I haven't gone back to listen to it. I think I listened to it like maybe once.
You talking about with Grandma? Oh, yeah. She's a treasure. I love my grandma.
But like I know I had never really heard that story and known like it's crazy the things like when you start to like kind of snapshot our like lives and stuff. There are so many like this could have been this moments and just pivotal changes. Like we talk about this, and we talked about this before. Like the place where Mike Brown was killed is the apartment complexes where my grandmother used to live.
Right. We stayed in St. Louis every summer. Like, oh, I know that. That's where. Yeah.
Like the friends I used to have were like right across from here, there, and I wanted to like be in that apartment. I was in this apartment when that same cousin who goes to college in this place that leads us back to was like taken away from me, and in my mind said verbally, very loudly, I'm not going to see her again. Now, granted, there was just something in my spirit. I couldn't translate what was going on in my spirit at that time, but I wasn't far off. It took a very,
Yeah,
very
you
long
didn't see her
time.
again for a very long time, but the reunion is what gave my
Yeah.
grandma a chance to see the town where her
Yeah.
grandmother
Yeah. And
was
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
born.
It's so
Yeah, it's like a
amazing. So,
full circle moment. Who I can't plan that. Who
no.
can? God can. And that to
Yeah.
me is just further evidence and proof that God is real. There are so many moments in our lives that just they come to us when we're willing to step out and do and try new things, even if it might be scary. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for our trip. It was a great trip.
Yeah.
Like, one thing about this podcast is I love people's stories and I love to hear people's stories. And I feel like doing this podcast has put me really into a mindset of, we talk about the genealogy of Jesus, but like the genealogy of me, where did I come from? And what are the
Yeah.
stories of the people in my family? How did I get to be where I am? And this was a great opportunity for me to see where I come from. I feel like it's so important to know your roots and know your history. My great great grandmother has been dead way longer, uh, probably 39 years. I think I was one when she passed away. She's been gone for that long. And the decisions she made, the choices she made impacted me. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
the steps that she took, all of those things that matter. And I was looking, I have like a big family Bible from our family,
Mm.
and it's her Bible. She wrote in it. I opened that Bible up, and there are letters in there from Uncle Blue to his mommy, to see how she was doing. And to me, it is an example of our faith history, because the letters are, they talk about, like, my great great grandma was a great woman of faith. And so to see her son writing to his mom and to see the life that Uncle Blue lived, he got that from his mama.
Yeah.
He got that from his mama. He's a strong pillar of faith in our family, or he was. He passed away. He started the deaths in
Oh, man.
2021.
But
It's not funny, but he
was the
popped out.
only one out of all of them that the seeing of his face because of how he lived his life
Brought you
still
peace.
brought me peace and like a joy of like just seeing you disarms whatever the world got going on. And yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because I'm gonna get all teary eyed. But you had a point you
Don't
were
cry.
saying. Go ahead.
But he was a great man of faith. And where did he get that from? His mama. And to see where his mom came from. And when I say he was a great man of faith, an amazing man of faith, and you don't just become that by accident or overnight. Like, he had a mother that loved the Lord, that poured into him, and he poured that into us. So yeah, I love the fact that we got to see where our family started. This is it. And I really hope you guys will check out the video on YouTube. It is an exploration into my family genealogy. I am the family historian. My cousin would try to fight you on this, but I am. We have finally come to the conclusion that it's me, and it's fine, sis. Like,
All right, y'all. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure that you are checking out our YouTube channel, the link of which will be down in the description. We're going to make it easier for you because all you got to do is click that and it takes you right to the page. If you want to get in contact with us, we're giving you as many ways as you possibly need, whatever it is that you're using. Hit us up on Facebook, hit us up on the gram, or hit us up at biblestudygirl2019 at gmail.com. And remember, it's not just I or you that preach, but we preach.
and until we meet again, guys, keep preaching.